loco, and me likey ya locomotion.
残念でした。
Gotta be fucking kidding.
Alright, what is up guys? 112 here, and we are finally going to be taking a look at the Kaiyodo Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi Harley Quinn from the Suicide Squad Isekai anime. So, I apologize for the way that I sound. It's allergy season, so I sound all congested and shit, so I apologize. But yeah, this figure already is holding a Figure of the Year contendership for 2026. That's how fucking good she is. Really fun figure. I'm sorry that this review took so long. There were so many things that were out of my hands in terms of me getting her and quality control issues and stuff like that, so I apologize, but it's here, it's done. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and hopefully this was worth the wait. Okay, so we're going to get into the paint and sculpt on this figure. So I want to talk about the sculpt first before I talk about the paint, because there's a little bit more to it. But in terms of her sculpt, I love it. There's a lot of little small details in her sculpt, like the wrinkles in her jacket, for the sleeves of her jacket, like even on the kind of bigger parts of her jacket here, even on her hood. Back here, she's got some wrinkles. There's some wrinkles on her short shorts right there. She's got these like boots, heel combos going on there. And they got little cuffs on them. Her stockings, I believe, have a raised, they have a raised sculpt to them, which is cool. And those are all ripped up. She has her little wrist straps and jewelry. She's got her fingerless gloves going on there, but they're not like the motorcycle fingerless gloves like the previous Harley had. And there's a lot of asymmetrical choices in this design going on, like particularly with her boots. There you go. There's a lot of like red and black asymmetrical designs on the boots. There's a lot of asymmetrical designs with her hair, where there's blues and pinks in certain areas. Like there's a pink, blue for the tips of her hair, and they're like very, her pigtails are like all kind of chopped and sporadic, if that's the right word. So you could tell that she cut her hair herself, because you could see there's like all these, and she kind of like half-assed tied her hair, because there's all these ends sticking out there, even at the bottom of her hair there. Even her bangs, and there's like all these hair pieces. I really like that. I like that they chose not to paint her hair blonde, but they chose to sculpt it in this blonde color. And another funny part of this figure, not even counting the faceplates, but another funny part of this figure is the back of her hair. If you've ever seen women like tie their hair into braids or pigtails or ponytails, if they tie their hair too tight, their hair gets this kind of honeycomb, kind of, you know what I mean, this ridge or these kind of cracks where in their scalp, like if they tie their hair too tight, and you can see that they're like, she really tied the shit out of her hair. And her pigtails are also sculpted in there. You just can't see them because of her hair. But I really like that, that they decided to do that. And then yeah, like there's more asymmetrical designs on her jacket. So I like that. Now, in terms of the sculpt for the figure as a whole, I also really like it too because she's very petite. Um, she's shorter, which, I mean, I always saw Harley as a shorter character anyway, that she's like 5 foot something. Uh, so she's always been kind of a smaller, petite character to me. And of course, depending on the artist's renditions, some will draw her more petite like this, some will add some curves to her and make her a little bit thicker. It just all depends on the artist. Um, but I do really like this design. I think it's very fun, and I think it's very fitting for Harley as a character. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and cover the paint now. Okay, so let's talk about the paint really quick. So for the most part, the paint is punched in really nicely, even in the smaller details, like her pockets up here on her jacket, the zipper for her top, the zipper for her jacket, the little studs on her belt, the belt buckle, that little metal piece at the end of the belt, these little rings that the belt runs through, right? Her stockings being all ripped up, all that is really good. The hair clips. Now, I did have 2 areas where there was paint quality control, and I want to point this out because I believe this is one of those figures, besides I think Jury also might have had some paint quality issues, and maybe the Street Fighter ones might have, but this Harley has been known to have some paint quality control issues. For me, I had some very noticeable ones right here where the red side of her top here, she had a huge black scuff on it, and I'll make sure to put a video in here and show you. I'm not being pervious or anything with these shots, but right off the bat, you can see right here that little mark. That is I don't know what that is. If that's a paint scuff, if that's a paint scratch or paint transfer, I don't know what it is, but I tried using an eraser to get it off. I tried using a Gundam eraser marker, and that wouldn't come off. So there's that. There's this mark right here on her jacket. You see that right there? That black? What the fuck is that? What is that, Kaiyodo? That's not acceptable. That's unacceptable on Kaiyodo's part to let that slide out of the factory. They need to get somebody to check their quality control a little bit better, because to let a figure like this, which I believe I paid $70 something for, I mean almost 80. So, for that type of price, plus, for us in the US and outside of the US, having to pay tariffs and all that stuff, that's unacceptable for us to not be getting, 99.9% perfect on our figures when we take them out of the box. I'm just saying. And plus them wanting to raise the cost of figures, that's just unacceptable. So I will make sure to put a post somewhere in here showing what their response was to that, which to me they were very unhelpful, and with their shipping only giving you the 2 most expensive shipping options, and them having you wait about 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks, to give you a shipping estimate, and for it to be what I paid for it, is absolutely For them to just kind of hoodwink you, and and hope that you could pay that shipping charge is unacceptable. I would consider that highway robbery at that point. So, that and other factors just led me into not wanting to do business with them anymore. So if you were considering ordering from Hobby Genki, I'd recommend against it. I would look somewhere else. Because that's unacceptable for them to do that. And have you wait to see if the company that manufactured this would be able to fix the problem for you. So that's terrible. But besides that, paint's really good. I really like it, from the smallest details to the biggest details. I'm happy with it. And I also want to thank Toy Gains because he was the one that provided a fix for me when I couldn't figure it out. And so I'm going to show you that real quick, and then we'll get on to the accessories. So he gave me an old painter's trick. He told me to dry brush the areas, don't thin the paint, just dry brush the areas. So I'm going to provide you the paint that I used. So I used the Vallejo model color Rojo Carmen for her top. And then this Mecha color red is what I used for the jacket. And I covered it up. You can't even tell there was any issues with it in the pictures or anything like that. So, yeah, that was a fix for it. So, just be wary. If you do happen to have QC issues and it happens to be on the jacket or on the top, that Rojo Carmen does match that kind of darker red, and that Mecha color red matches the same color as the jacket. So hopefully that's a fix for you guys, because I tried everything: isopropyl alcohol, magic eraser, pencil eraser. It didn't work. So thank you to Toy Gains. Check out Toy Gains' channel. He does a lot of painting and stuff like that. And he does great content over there, so check him out. But with that being said, that's the paint and sculpt. Let's take a look at the accessories now. Okay, so we are going to talk about the accessories now for this Harley, and then once I get finished talking about her accessories, I do want to pull out the accessories for the previously reissued Harley, because there is a significant price difference between the two figures, and one comes with more accessories than the other, and I'm not quite sure why that is, why they decided to do that. It's odd. But I do like some of the design choices they chose with her accessories over the previous Harley, and I'll get into that. And right off the bat, I do want to talk about the hands, because this is one of the important, at least to me, this is one of the important pieces when it comes to her figure. And you're probably wondering why that is. Well, because she comes with a set of hands that I think should have been with the previously released Harley Quinn, and that's trigger fingers. So she comes with trigger fingers for her right hand and her left hand. This is the first Revoltech Harley that's come with these. And when we get into the previous Harley and her accessories, we'll talk about it. They kind of did trigger fingers, but you would have to split. You'd have to cut in between two fingers. And considering the price on this figure, if it was the bootleg version, I wouldn't mind. But because this is the official, it's a reissue, they did like it was kind of a hard figure to get. I didn't feel like going through all that and cutting trigger fingers on that. So it's nice that they actually gave you trigger fingers for these, and they're not like hard hands. They're like very, if you won't have any issues putting weapons for her to hold in those hands. She also has a couple of gesturing hands, which are nice. These ones right here, the set, carry over from the other Revoltech Harley, which I'll show. And then she comes with a set of fists, which that's what comes on this figure when you take her out of the box. She comes with a set of fists on. So there's that. and then for the other hand tree, she comes with a kind of bang bang hand, a thumbs up hand, and then she comes with a set of kind of trigger discipline hands, but these are also the hands you use for her to hold her bat. So you get those. You get an extra set of bangs for her sunglasses that she comes with, and you can see these ones have indents on the side for the sunglasses to slide into. And then you get the sunglasses, which I think are fun. I went back to find clips for the intro of this review, and I couldn't find exactly where she wore these sunglasses. I think they might have just thrown these in. Because sometimes Revoltech does that. They throw in like an accessory that is not accurate to the particular portrayal that they're going for of the character or the look or the design, but they just kind of throw in something fun, which is cool. I like it. I think it's fun. And then we get into the faceplates, which a lot of people that I saw that did reviews of her, they didn't like her faceplates because they said that there was a QC issue with her eyes being misaligned or not even. So we have this faceplate here, which I believe this one came on the figure out of the box. This kind of straight face. So you get that one. You get this kind of maniacal laughing face. You get this kind of cheeky wink in her eye. She's looking to her left. She's got a smile on her face. You have this one where she's kind of nervous, or she's scared or concerned. You get this one where she's looking to her right. And then you get this one here where she's got like a psychotic smile on her face. Now those are the heads that come with the regular release. If you did catch your pre-order between when she officially went up and November 30th of last year, you got this extra faceplate included in your order. So this was the pre-order bonus. It came in its own little packaging, which I'll show you right here. It came in this little baggie. So it comes in this. So that extra faceplate, it comes in its own little baggie right here, so you can see. And it has its own little label. So not that many copies will come with that, and when you buy her through Big Bad Toy Store or something like that, it's not going to come with this faceplate. You're going to have to look on overseas sites and see if you can find a site that carries that extra faceplate that's included in it if you want that. This is something that Kaiyodo has been doing for a couple of years now with the pre-order bonuses. A lot of people don't really like that. I don't mind it because it's a way to deter, not deter you, but it's a way to entice you to want to get that figure. And it's like there's a price difference between the regular version and the pre-order bonus. I think after release, but I think depending on the site that you get it from, they usually include it in there. But yeah, I would say if you want that extra faceplate with the shit-eating grin, look around and you'll find it. I really like it though. I've talked about it multiple times on stream while I was waiting for this figure to get released. That yeah, this is what sold me on this figure. It fits her character so well. But I do love how expressive this version of Harley is in the anime, and that they included all these different face plates to kind of, you know, uh, show that off, I guess. Now, if I had to make a choice, I think they could have swapped one of the straight faces for like one with her tongue sticking out, because she does that kind of that like anime trope with some characters where they have their index finger under their eye and they like stick their tongue out in like an annoyance way. She does that at one point in the anime. That would have been fun, but you can kind of do it with this figure, with this faceplate too, if you got your pre-order bonus. Now she does come with two weapons. She comes with her handgun and her bat, which I like this take on her weapons. So we'll get into that real quick. So in terms of her handgun here, I'm gonna probably have to move her back here. So we could look at her handgun here. So in terms of her handgun, it's really nice. It's that bubblegum pink, which is cool because I like the color pink. I know like it's kind of frowned upon for dudes to like pink, but whatever. But I do like the diamonds on the barrel, the diamonds on the grip, the kind of two hearts in motion on the side of the pistol, the fact that the trigger guard is in the shape of a heart, and then that also continues on the other side too. And she's got like these ridges on top that I believe those are also diamonds that are on the top of the barrel. So it's fun. I like it. And something with the anime that's fun is that the longer they stay in that fantasy world, the more their weapons kind of have magical effects to them, which I think is fun. And she's able to shoot like alchemy, like her pistol has like alchemy effects now, so she's able to shoot like magical ammunition from it. It's fun. It's goofy. It's fun. A lot of people didn't like it, but it's like it's a fantasy anime. You know what I mean? It's a fantasy anime. It's not going to take itself seriously. So, you know, but to each their own. Now, in terms of her bat, I really like this too. Again, we got that bubblegum pink going on for the bat, which is fun. I'm going to zoom in here. And she has a lot of different designs. She has the red and black diamonds in there. There's some scratches, like it's been used. And then the tape on the handle is also sculpted and painted really nicely. And then to get it into her hand, it's just like the SH Figure Arts bat, where it has a little groove inside there. I don't know if you can see it, but you just line that up in there and you just pop it on there. Now, it might be scary for some people to see how thin that piece of plastic is. As long as you're gentle with it, you shouldn't have any issues. So yeah, as long as you don't, you know, hammer hands with the accessory, then you should be fine. Now, in terms of her other accessories that she comes with, she does come with a stand. So it is just like every the Revoltech stand. Now it does have the DC Warner Brothers little thing on the front there, which is kind of eh. It does come with a clamp that you could put on there, but because she has a peg back here, you could just peg that in. And I used it with some pictures that you'll see for the articulation, but it's fine. And then she does come with an extra wrist piece in case that breaks, but I haven't had any Revoltech figures where the wrist pegs have broken on me. So again, just be gentle with your figures and you won't really have any issues like that. Just treat it not as a domestic figure, but as an import figure. You know, treat it as if it's not as if it's an artifact, but as if it's, you know, you paid a lot of money for it. So just be patient with it. If some joints feel a little bit of resistance, be gentle with them and you'll be fine. Now, with this Harley, I'm going to show you her accessories because she didn't come with that much in terms of her accessories. So give me just 1 minute and I'll lay out everything. Okay, so I have all of her accessories out too. She comes with a Revoltech stand too, but I kept that in the box. Because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be letting this figure go because I have this version now and this one does a lot more. So she does come with a pair of roller skates, which luckily this one does not have any paint QC issues on. But she comes with a set of these roller blades. Trying to get this to focus, I think, because there's too much color going on here. There we go. So yeah, she comes with these roller blades, or roller skates, excuse me. She comes with those, she comes with her hammer. And it has that little peg in there for the effect. Okay. So she comes with the bat as well. Like I said, it just separates in two just like this one does. But this is more of like a traditional baseball bat. It doesn't have the tape or anything on the handle. And then for her hands, she only comes with like 4 sets of hands, I think, which is not a lot. So you get these gesturing hands, like I said, right? You get these gesturing hands that are up there, which come with this figure. They're the exact same. You get this hand right here, which is the bang bang hand. You get the thumbs up hand. You get the set of fists that she comes with, just like this one does. But this one has like the fingerless gloves. And then this one comes with these hands right here. I'm going to put these on this little hand tree so you can see what I'm talking about here. She comes with these hands. And you see how they're kind of trigger fingers, but they didn't go all the way with the trigger fingers because the thumb is sculpted into the side of the middle finger. Now, you could do what some people have done and just cut a groove between the thumb and the middle finger and separate it, but why would you do that? Because then you're ruining the figure, right? And like I said, this isn't like a world release like this Harley is right here. This was a limited reissue that if you live in Japan, you were able to get it really easily. But if you didn't live in Japan, the only other way to get this figure was either through Japanese overseas sites, or you would have to physically go to Comic-Con last year to get it. And this figure sold out that Friday of Comic-Con. So it sold out the very first day of Comic-Con. It was gone. The Kaiyodo booth sold out, and that was it. And Big Bad Toy Store didn't get her. And so very few overseas sellers had her. So yeah, she comes with that set of hands. So she only comes with, was that 1, 2, 3 matching sets of hands and 2 other sets of hands. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So 8 sets of hands. While this one comes with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 13 sets of hands. So, you know what I mean? And this one actually came with trigger fingers. Granted, you do get 2 extra sets of, you do get 2, weapons that are iconic with Harley. And then you get faceplates with this one. So you get this faceplate here, where she's kind of got like a static face. And again, it's supposed to represent the Amanda Connor Harley. So you get that face. You get that kind of shocked, scared face. You get this face right here, where she's like smiling. And then you get this one, where she's winking. She's like winking and she's blowing a bubblegum bubble. So that was really the only new thing that came with this Harley, is that extra faceplate with the bubblegum. That was it. That was the only new addition to this Harley. They just added an extra faceplate that came with the 2 repaints of Harley, which was the Ami Ami exclusive, which was in the New 52 Suicide Squad colors, and then the other version was with the DC Rebirth colors of Harley. That was the only 2 that came with that bubblegum faceplate. So, and then, of course, you get an effect piece, which this came with all of them. And then you also get this tool right here, which you use to manipulate the eyes. I don't really like this tool because it came with the original Harley, and on mine it started to get stress marks on them. And I'm also glad that they went away from the movable eyes to the faceplates now, because all companies are doing these movable eyes, and the issue when you do movable eyes is that you risk misprinting or mispainting the eyes. So when you go to move the eyes a certain way, they don't line up right. And that's what happened with this reissue. It happened with this reissued Harley, and it happened with the very first Revoltech Harley that came out. So, I'm not, now that I have this one, I don't really have a reason to keep this Harley, but I did want to at least go ahead and at least show you the accessories between the 2 and show you that, like, this one is already superior because you get more expressions, you get more accessories, you get the ability to put different weapons in her hands. So if you have Valaverse weapons, or maybe the little armory stuff from Figma, those weapons might fit better with her. But I'm not too sure since I don't have any at the moment, but the Valaverse stuff will definitely fit with her. And now this allows you to paint different weapons to fit her. Like, for example, this was from the Mark II Designs weapon pack, one of the several that I got at DFW last year. And I painted it this bubblegum pink, and I think it'll look dope with her. Another weapon I painted in that like bubblegum pink was this traditional Uzi. So now you can have some fun painting weapons to match her, and it's cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it for her accessories. So now we'll get on to the articulation. I apologize that this section was longer, but I mean, there's a lot to talk about with her accessories and stuff like that. So with that being said, we're going to get into the articulation, and then we'll get into my final thoughts. Okay, so we're gonna do scale and my final thoughts. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the Skeletron Jungle Wolf Trooper right there. They're gonna get their own video soon. The Robo Skull, I'm not too sure about that. That may be, if enough people are interested, then I'll do it. Here's the Kaiyodo Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi version 2.5 Deadpool and the X-Force colors next to her. Same thing with him. I've been debating on whether or not to do a review, but we'll see. And then in terms of Hasbro, here she is next to Tiantina and Shadow Meowscles from the Fortnite Victor Royale series line. So there's those. And then from Valorverse, we have Kill Switch and the Zolicon exclusive Black. Thank you to Woody222 for helping me out with that. And she looks cool with those as well. And then finally, of course, I had to put her next to the Figure of the Year winner for 2025, and that is the Romanki Gun Girl Jessica, aka Rebecca from Cyberpunk Edge Runners. You can see she's substantially taller than her, but I think it works out though to me. So yeah, that's my comparisons. I know people have been saying, oh, she's too short, she scales too small, but here's the thing, Harley has always been a small character in height and stature, and depending on the character design and who the artist was, she's had a petite build, she's had kind of a more thicker, more filled out build. It just depends on perspective. At the end of the day, that's what it is. It depends on the subjectiveness, I guess, or the subjectivity of the version of Harley that you like and who the artist is at the end of the day. So but in terms of my final thoughts, I really do enjoy this figure. I think that so my final thoughts on her, I really do enjoy this Revoltech Harley. I do think she's a Figure of the Year contender for sure. She has way better articulation than the previous version, better accessories, better articulation. I like this design more. She's more fun, more expressive. She's got more character to her. She plays really nicely with other figures for photography, and I don't regret my purchase, even though I had the paint QC issues with that and all that shit. But take that negativity away, and I highly recommend this figure if you're kind of looking for a new Harley for your collection. So that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate everyone's support recently with the streams and stuff like that. I know that I don't post content as frequently as I used to, but hopefully soon that'll change. But of course, if you did enjoy this review, please like, comment, and consider subscribing, as we're on our way to 500 subs. And as always, take care of yourselves, take care of others, finish the fight. And as always, 112.